President Zelensky calls on the United States to lift all existing restrictions, especially on longer-range weapons, ATACMS.
Well, as you highlight, we continue on a very regular basis to talk with our Ukrainian partners in terms of what their needs are when it comes to protecting Ukrainian sovereign territory and taking that occupied territory back. And we, every step of the way, have worked with the Ukrainians to understand their needs and to try to evolve requirements in terms of the support needed to help protect sovereign Ukrainian territory. But our policy hasn't changed in terms of long-range strikes. Again, I think it's important to understand here that what we don't want to see is unintended consequences, escalation to make this a broader conflict that extends beyond Ukraine. And that's something that I think we all need to think about and take very seriously. Never at any point, though, do we underestimate the threat that Russia poses to Ukraine. So we're going to continue to work with Ukraine, and we're going to continue to ensure they have what they need to protect their sovereign territory and their people.
But how exactly the situation could escalate? It did not escalate after the recent permission from the U.S. to strike across the border.
Well, again, I think in that case, what we're talking about here is just common sense in terms of if you're being shot at from across the border, or if they're forming troops up to conduct attacks, for example, into Kharkiv. I think it makes sense to be able to enable them to fire back. But again, you have to look at the second and third order effects in terms of potential escalation. If targets inside Russia are struck that don't necessarily have a strategic impact or could have unintended consequences in terms of escalation. So throughout the duration of this conflict, we've worked very closely with Ukraine and our partners throughout Europe to prevent a wider war. The U.S. is not at war with Russia. We don't seek conflict with Russia, but we support fully Ukraine's right to defend itself, and we'll continue to work with Ukraine to make sure that they can do that.
Wouldn't it be more efficient to let Ukraine strike the airfields where those attacks originate within the range of ATACMS, in addition to strengthening Ukraine's air defense?
Yeah, again, for the reasons I outlined, we are where we are today. Again, we'll continue to maintain robust conversations with the Ukrainians. But right now, our policy has not changed.